Hello everybody, I'm back. Yes, it's Frank Shamrock. Once again, I'm kicking somebody's ass. Today we're doing submission fighting training games. This is some secret stuff here, very unknown. In fact, this will be the first time it's actually been taught in public. These are the games that we do to speed up our technique, speed up our movement, our flow drills, and get peace of mind, confidence, agility, and speed throughout our techniques and positions. So here we go, submission fighting training games. Let me bring my partner in, Austin. Austin, come on in here. Thanks for working with me on the games today. So the games are interactive. Each game has a kind of a certain set of small rules to them, and I'll tell you the rules, and we'll just sort of play the games as they go. And then we'll just kind of we'll play with it as it goes. Like I said, the games are interactive, so I want your feedback about certain things. When I ask you, just let me know how you feel, and if it feels strong or whatever, and we'll just keep going. So let's do this. Let's get you on your back. Just laying on your back there. And we're going to get our first position is going to be all turtle. It's going to be called the turtle game. So that position looks like this. So let's put your elbows to your knees. Just like that. So this is going to be the position that we're going to work from. And this game is designed to teach you hand, eye, foot, and whole body coordination from this position. Now the theory is that once you're in this position, if you grab the weight and pull it on top of this shell with the ball on your back, that you'll be able to control 100% of that person's weight, whether they're on top of you or whether they're standing. So that's the theory behind the position, and that's what we're going to achieve by playing this game. So the position is this. This is called the turtle. Now in order to start the game, of course, you need a partner, and you need to know the rules. So the rules of the game are simple. The game starts by me getting into position of my partner and giving him all of my weight. So go ahead and put your hands in my armpits there, and I'm going to give you all of my weight. Feel it? So that's going to be our start position. This is called the turtle start position. Now, the game is this. The guy on the top has two ways to win the game. He can get inside of the shell, get on top of the body, and the guy on top will win the game. So this is winner number one, being on top. The guy on the top, like I said, has two ways to win. The second way is to disengage completely and be the first guy standing in a fighting stance. The guy on top has two ways to win the game. The guy on the bottom has one way to win the game. He's got to get up and get to a fighting stance before I do. So that's how the game is played. Now, again, what it teaches you is hand-eye coordination, movement and agility on your back while keeping that safe shell, and also the ability to pop up as quickly as possible. Now, we talked about if I'm on top, I got two ways to win, and if he's on bottom, he only has one way to win. The game is stacked in his disfavor because we want him to work and get that control and get that speed and that movement. So, we know the rules to the game. Now I'll show you the techniques, how to move in and about the position. So let's get you back on your back. Now, in order for you to keep the game going and keep in control, you have to maintain control of my weight. So you're always going to be pulling it on top of you and lifting the weight up and holding it on top of you. My job is to win the game by either getting in or getting out. So I'm going to show you a couple ways that I would win the game, and we'll show a couple ways that you can win the game and sort of make it even. Okay, so the first problem is that he's got all my weight, and it's up here and he's controlling it. What I can do to get my weight back, an easy way to get rid of his feet and gain control of my body again, is I'll pinch my knees together as I push all my weight back and roll backward. So I'm going to do this. Knees together, everything goes back. What I've done is I've taken his 2 feet, which are hooked my legs, and I've made them 1. Now I can take that 1 and just push it out of the way, and I can either cross or get up to win the game. So pinching your knees together and rolling back is one way to take control of your weight and get your weight back, and then you can separate and win the game, or you can push it across, get on top, and win the game. So that's 2 easy ways for the guy on top to win the game here. A couple other easy ways is I can take off completely by jumping over. If I disengage completely and I'm in my fighting stance, I will win the game first, so that's a win in my favor. Another way, of course, I can win the game is to get inside of that, get on the inside, at which point I'll be inside of the shell, and I'll win the game. Now, if you're going to win the game, you got to be completely inside. So while I have one knee inside of here, it's not really winning the game yet. I got to get the other one in as well if I'm going to win the game completely. With that in mind of bringing your legs up, I can kind of trick him into opening up a little bit and try to get in there a little bit easier. And I do it by combining the two techniques that we just did. I'll push my knees together and I'll roll myself back. When he comes up to try and stop me, I'll push him back down and I'll step over the leg. So I got a little in and out kind of movement there that's trying to open and expose his body so that I can get inside of the body. Let's see, other ways to win from the top. I can cross my feet and cross my hips to get my leg free, which will unhook my lower body. And if I want, I can step away, and that'll win the game for me as long as I disengage. Or I can step across my own hips and try to move inside of that shell to win the game that way. So that's another easy way for me to win the game. Well, all those techniques are for me, for the guy on top, to win the game. And again, I have two ways to win: inside or completely disengaged. Now let's look at the techniques that the person on the bottom has from the game. And really, the focus of this drill is for the person on the bottom to get that speed and movement. So let me flow through these. Go ahead and stand above me here, and let's see. So my ways to win, of course, I have to get up, completely disengaged before you do in a fighting stance. So I have a number of ways to win from here, and the first one comes from having your weight. So give me all your weight. You're Superman. I'm the turtle. So the first way and the easiest way is just to elevate this and turn it over. So that would be sideways. So I can drop it, turn it over, and then try to disengage before he gets up and gets to his stance. So that would be my game because I'd be on the bottom. So that's the easiest way, is to turn it over sideways. And what I recommend for that, to help you with your game, is to sort of pick a side by moving a little bit. I get a little bit of movement here, and then I'll pick a side and try to make that my escape and winning the game. So first one is elevator to the side. Second one is elevator over the top. I'm going to get control of the weight, and I'm going to take all that weight, and I'm going to head over my head and roll over backwards. So what I'll do is I'll keep the same base on the lower, but I'll drop the upper body and pull the arm in as I go over this way. Once I get him over, again, my game is to be the first guy up and ready to roll. So that going over the head is your second escape. Your third escape is when he brings his legs up and tries to step around your leg. So bring your legs up like you're going to step around. Oh, up here high. What happens when he brings his legs up is you can counter-attack them by grabbing onto the feet and pushing your shins into his thighs and pushing him down, making your escape. I will do it once again. I'll show you once more. So again, when I'm at position, elbow to knee, give me all your weight. Give me that weight. Yeah, just give me his weight. And when he tries to bring his feet up to get inside of my knees, go ahead and bring it up. As soon as he brings them up, I'm going to catch both of his heels right here at the heel. Then I'm going to kick my shins out and lift myself up so that I can be the first guy up and standing. Now what I recommend on that one, if you're the guy on the bottom, is keep something in your hand, one of the heels. It'll just make it hard for him to get up. So if you get a scramble where he's trying to get up, if you have a heel, you'll still be the first guy up and ready because you'll have the heel. Okay, so we have three basic escapes for me to get out from the bottom position. What you also have to remember is that your feet act just like hands here. So they've got to remain up, curled, and actively pushing and pulling on his legs so that you can control his lower body as well. So you'll notice how my feet are. You'll notice how I'm holding up his thighs and his lower torso, and I'm accepting the weight on my shins so that when I move my shin and my hip, I move his body as well. That's one of your keys to maintaining this position and keeping control of that body weight at all times. That's the turtle game pretty much in a nutshell. Austin and I are going to play the game a little bit and sort of show you where it takes and see the moves that come out. If there are any good moves or variations that come out, I'll be sure to point them out so we can really get the full effect of the game. I'll start on the bottom. We'll just maybe 50% just play with techniques we learned and try to get in there and see where the weight goes and see what happens, all right? And then we'll switch. Sound good? All right, so jump on top here. Remember, if you're going to play the game, guy on top's got to give you all of his weight. He's going to be Superman. Sacrifice all of his weight, so for 1 second, you'll have 100% of it. And as soon as you get it, and you're in control of the weight, that's the start of the game. You can either do it verbally, like, hey, let's go, or you can, when you feel you got it and there's nothing on the mat, you can just begin, which is what we're going to do. Ready? Go. So winner of the game. You got 2 ways to win, 2 ways to win, 2 ways to win, 2 ways to win. I don't know, that was a close one. Let's try another one. So on that one, it was sort of an elevator and sort of like I turned my hip out to try to get around. So it was sideways and kind of hip up. That's how I got around that one. So a slight variation, but when I turned you sideways, you squared your hips up. So I had to try to pull my hips out. And that was just a kind of the way the game played out. So we'll do it once more. I'm the guy on the bottom, so you got 2 ways to win, and I got 1 way to win. Okay. All right? Give me that weight. All right, go. Oh. No, that's all right. So remember, the most important thing is that you go for the win of the game. So winning the game is getting inside or getting up in that stance. And that should be your whole thing. If you get a hold or you got a good throw or whatever, you can do it, but the rules of the game are still the most important thing. And that's the way all the games go, because if you deviate from the game, then you lose the essence of what we're doing. Don't worry about the holds. It's about the game, getting the hand-eye, foot-body coordination so that you can react very quickly and be in a position to do damage. All right. Give me that weight. Give me that weight. All right, go. Doesn't yet. Winner of the game. No. That's the way the game is played, though. But what it does is, I mean, you felt right there. I know that you were thinking, okay, how do I unhook? How do I move? How do I do that? That's the kind of, collective thinking that you need to get really good at the game, which, when applied to grappling, really elevates your skill and ability to grapple. That's the turtle game. It's that simple. We play it just for time, 2 or 3 minutes. It's exhausting because you're moving so quickly, and you got very set rules as to what you can do, so the game is really focused. I usually do it for a minute, 2-minute rounds, switch the people around, switch body types. It's a really good workout, and it's a great game. Second part of the game is being on top, taking the top position and trying to win that way. And being on top, you do have the advantage because you have 2 ways to win the game. So let's see if I can get some of those to go. Austin, let's get you out here. All righty. Let me give you that weight. So this is how we play. As soon as the weight lifts up, which is, you'll feel it, that's when the game always starts. If you play that way, you'll always get accustomed to feeling that weight. You'll get accustomed to reacting quickly. So you ready to play? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Okay, we'll call that a winner of the game. I got inside the shell, although he may have let me. Either way, I got inside the shell. Go again? Yep. All right. Okay, give that weight. All right. All right. I'm not showing you any more techniques today. Let's go once more. Once more. Let's get you back just a little bit. All right, I'm going to try some tricky stuff on you because you know the good stuff now. Ready? Ah! Winner! Good. Yeah, that's the game. It's just like that. Switch up, work with different body types. It's demanding. It's very fast. The games are just short bursts of trying to win that game real quick, and you relax, kind of chill, evaluate, get right back and play again. Do it a minute, do it 2 minutes, 3 minutes if you're good, and then go on to the next game. Choke game. How to not get choked. It's about time someone taught this. There's an actual game that will teach you how to get confident in blocking the choke and also how to use that position of being choked to turn it into an advantageous one. The choke game is very, very simple. Don't get choked. So, Austin, let's try the choke game. Let's have you choke me, and we'll first talk about the mechanics of it, and then we'll play the game. So in order to get your choke game really dialed down, you've got to first deal with the mechanic of the choke, because that's the whole problem behind the game, and that's where everybody loses focus and loses confidence, because someone's choking them, so they think only about that. Throw that choke on here. So here's the first problem that you've got to deal with, is you've got to get your chin down and get that choke off of you just a little bit. And here's a good tip for you. Look at the level of my chin with my shoulders right now. I'm going to show you something that'll block just about every choke, and with the ability of your hands, will block all chokes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my chin down. Now that'll keep my neck being protected. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my shoulders up just a little bit. Now, he's got to get his arm underneath this now with the shoulders up. So it's not a straight line anymore. It's not something he can easily pull on. That's how I'm going to first block the mechanic of the choke. Second, I'm going to get my back to the mat and get out of choke position. The whole game of the choke game is to get caught in a full choke and then get out by getting your back to the mat. So let's throw that choke on there. First thing is chin down, shoulders up, look at where the arm travels, takes it off the neck. Now that it's off the neck, I got a little bit of time to get my back to the mat. So with this in mind, I'm going to show you guys the rest of the game. So, come here, sit behind me, Austin. I want you to wrap me up. Choke me till my head falls off. All right, so here's the choke position. When you start your game, start all the way up on top, full choking position. Go ahead and take the arm, put it all the way across with a full lock. And the one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep a hand inside. See my right hand? Going to curl a little bit. Just going to stick it inside of there and just protect it that last little bit so that my shoulders, my chin, and my hand protect that neck. Once I get a good position, I'm ready to get choked, I'll let my partner know, and he'll actually start choking me. Now my job is to shimmy my back onto the mat so that he can no longer be on that back. And then, once my back is on the mat, we're both going to look for a position change. So he's going to try to get on top of this. And at the same time, as I'm slithering off, I'm going to try to turn and face him. So the first part of the game is, can he choke me? And the second part of the game is, who can get on top? And that's how the whole game is played. Again, all it really does is it does all the conditioning here, builds you up, gets you strong, but also gives your brain and body that confidence that you can withstand the choke, find a good way out, and then get a top position right away. So I'm going to let you choke me. Just choke me until your arms fall off. And I'll play with certain dynamics of the game. If I tap, you just pause where you're at, and we'll sort of stop and bring everybody back into the game and kind of update them, and then we'll just keep going. Sound good? Are you in? All right. So here's our start position. Make sure that you're fully on top of the body, that you've given 100% of your body to your partner. Make sure that he's got you nice and tight, good control wrap on you. Then he's going to set his choke here. And once his choke is set, we're going to start the game. So we usually get it all locked up, and then I'll go boom, that'll start the game, and then we're going to wrestle to get your back to the mat. So what I'm going to do first and foremost, I'm going to take my shoulder, which for me is my left shoulder right now, and I'm going to push my legs up and drive my shoulder to the mat. So watch this. I'm going to push my shoulder to the mat. The quicker I can do that, and the quicker I can shimmy that back to the mat, the less time he's going to have back there to choke me. That's what the game is all about. A lot of times you get caught up on them legs. What you can do for the legs is, once you have all this blocked and you've turned that shoulder, you can reach right down there and pick that leg off without fear anymore. So once I get all the way over and I feel confident, I'm ready to go, I can just throw that leg off and turn out the rest of the way. The one thing that you really got to worry about is if these legs get really deep and get figure forward across your body. Now, this is a lock that's hard to get open and it's hard to push out of. So what you do for this lock is, I'm going to roll to the side of the lock. I'm going to push my body that way. And I'm going to use my feet to unhook this lock on my body. That'll put us back to the same position we started in. Here's my choke. I'm caught in this hold. I'm going to roll it to the side that the lock is on. Now that I can see the lock, I'll use my knee and my legs to push my body up and try and unhook that lock. If I can get it open or even just a little bit, now I can drive my body and shoulder to the mat. I don't have to worry about getting choked anymore. And the second part is, who can get on top? So that's where we both go. Ready? Go. So that's the second part of your game after you ward off a good choke. So I'm going to choke you a little bit. Let's just just turn them shoulders, tuck that chin, and just concentrate on getting your back to the mat. Don't freak out. Don't expend any more energy than you have to. Just try to get comfortable while I'm choking you if you can. I don't know if anybody can be comfortable while they're choking you, but we're going to try it today. All right, so here's a nice tight position, and then, yeah, chin down, that's solid. Shoulders up. Now look at where your chin went and your neck. You've almost totally blocked the choke already, and you haven't really done anything. So these two mechanics, chin down, shoulders up, will block just about everything. And for that last little bit, just take your right hand and hook your fingers in there. Yeah, that's all you need. So here's a good choke. I'll set it up. My man's going to get out of it by turning himself to the back. Oh, wait. I thought I was going to get on top. Second part of the game, but actually that's exactly what happened. So did you feel what happened as soon as you got your back to the mat? I had nothing on you at all. I mean, I felt like if I didn't change positions that you were going to change positions, which you did, and be on top first. That's all the choke game is. There's variables. You can hook the chin, which will help you get it up. You can hook the other side of the chin, which will help you get it up. If you're really nasty, you can hook the eyeball, the mouth, the eyes. You can take your bone, hook it on the bottom of the nose, pull the head up that way. Anything that encourages the head to lift up will, of course, give you a better choke. And the better choke you have, the closer you are to finishing the game. There is one giant danger about playing the choke game, and that danger is crossing your feet. You're never, ever, ever supposed to cross your feet, because then you have to uncross them. And you never can really appreciate it until someone does this, crosses them for you, and then tries to break your feet. You can't uncross them because you've crossed them and you put weight on top of it. That's what I just did to him. So here's a trick, tip, and a cheat. Never cross your feet. It's always just a bad thing to do. And if someone does, by all means, take advantage of it by putting something on top of that foot and putting something else on top of your foot. And you'll create a hold here with your hips where you can actually break his feet. Now this will discourage a choke very quickly. So here's just a great little tip. No one should ever cross their feet. It's really a bad thing. And as you get advanced and as you're moving from position to position and trying to get your back to the mat, he's going to be pulling me back on top of his body to try and choke me. While he's pulling me on top of his body, you can actually cross his feet for him. And if he's not paying attention, you can set him up before he realizes what's going on. So we're playing the game, I'm getting choked, and here's what I'm doing with my legs. I'm trying to get these legs crossed. Because I know if they cross, I can lock them up and I got an instant hold. You can also just use one side. If you do get an arm trap, and occasionally this will happen when you're playing the game, and he'll get an arm trap. This is dangerous because it's hard to block with just one side. But here's what I'll do to block. I'll lift this shoulder and I'll exaggerate the lift of it, and I'll pin it right to the side of my head. So if he wants to get underneath my chin, he's now got to get my shoulder out of the way. Now the way that you get around it, of course, is you go to the nose lift, or the eye lift, or the fish hook, and you lift it off of the shoulder and create the space again. Of course, all the hooking stuff is not nice, but sometimes when you're desperate, it works. So here's an easy block. I got a hand stuck. I'm not comfortable with it, but if I lift that whole shoulder and pin my chin to it, there's no way he's going to get underneath it and choke me. Easy block to the choke game. Let's play some more. Let me choke you. I like choking you. It's less painful that way, I've found out. Okay, so good position. Let me lift you up on my body. I'm going to get him sideways here so they can see some of this footwork. Let me get you up here. Let me get somewhere underneath there. Yeah. All right. Give it a go. Oh, that's a weapon. Choke game is that simple. It's really about wrestling for control of the back and wrestling for control of the neck. And then afterwards, wrestling for control of position. The thing about it is most styles say, don't turn your back, don't ever turn your back. So you get this feeling that turning your back is wrong and that getting choked is bad. So when a choke gets put on, you expend 10 times the energy that you should. Choke is a choke like any other hold. If you understand the mechanics and you have a good game, no one's going to get you in a choke. In order to get your leg locks really efficient and your movement in and out of the leg position really efficient, you gotta play the leg game. Leg game, again, another very simple game, real simple rules and techniques, but it takes a little bit of time to master, and it's definitely a challenging physical game as you're playing it. So Austin, let's get in. I'm gonna show you the leg game, and we'll break each other's feet. Go ahead and have a seat. Now, the essence to leg submissions are the leg position. And leg position is feet together, knees together, 2-on-1. That's where your power is the greatest, and that's where the only position where you're structured enough and have enough strength to actually break this big bone of the leg muscle. So you really got to achieve that leg position, or you really don't have anything. So the focus is leg position. So let me show you the leg position. That's going to be right here, feet together, knees together, 90 degrees. That's my power source and my base. This is leg position. Now once I'm here, we can do any lock. Heel hook, Achilles hold, toe hold, knee bar, all the stuff is right there. Every single leg lock is done from the exact same position. That's why when you play the leg game, the most important thing is not the lock, but the position, getting to position. And here's where most people lose their submission holds and lose their advantage, is they go for the leg and not the position. So they grab a good leg and they start wrenching away on it and they're all excited about it. But look at the position. All the power is run out the feet. There's no structure. And I have nothing to expand my body against. So essentially, all I got is a leg. I don't really have a hold. So we're going to teach you how to get that position rock hard, quickly, and then execute those holds right away. And that's what the leg game is all about. So this is our goal. Feet together, knees together, 90 degrees. And this is going to be our start. I give him a leg here. I got a leg here. Basically 50-50. Now we know that the first person to get 2-on-1, feet together, knees together, gets leg locks. So that's going to be the whole gist of our game. We'll start 50-50. We'll shake a big hand. Then the first guy to get to the leg position is going to win the game. Now there's a couple ways to cheat the game and also to put yourself in the advantage. And here's the easiest one. I'm going to take this leg, I'm going to bring my leg up inside and put a block on it. Now it's going to be hard for him to get 2-on-1 if I almost got two legs together here. So that's just one simple tweak that I can stick my knee in there and stop his ability to get 2-on-1. I can also grab his foot, stick my foot in the crook of his leg. I haven't done anything, but I've stopped him from getting the leg position, which hopefully will enable me to get a better position and make another attack. So this simple little counter will definitely stop the game. There's another real nice one here too. Let me switch these legs so they can see on this side. And that is, if I'm having trouble with position and he's getting good positions on me, if I just sit on his leg, there's no way he's going to get his feet together, knees together, and get 90 degrees because I'm sitting on his leg. So this simple attack will stop all of his techniques, and I can focus on getting that position first. So sitting on the leg, real easy. Catching the foot, sticking something inside of the knee, great splitting technique. Bringing something inside, so you got 2-on-1 in the center, or a knee and a foot in the center, means you have no holds against you. So these are just real simple, easy techniques that help tweak the game a little bit. Now you can use, as you get accustomed to it, you can use submission holds to get to positions, but you can't finish them. And that's really the key to the game, is submission holds don't matter, it's only about the position. Want to give it a shot? All righty then. Here, take that one. I'll take this one. Ready? Go. Oops, sitting on the leg. Oh. So that'd be a winner of the game. So that's how the game is played. I got position first. I wasn't on my side. I would have been a little stronger if I was on my side. I did get the right position first. So what I recommend is that you have your, beginner to intermediate guys just get position, and have your advanced guys not only get position, but get that position to be completely on their side, get a full, strong position each and every time. Try again. All right, leg game, leg game. Ready? Go. Oh, he's trying to trick on me, Oh! Ah. Oh, I'm put it back to him. I'm doing it back to him. I don't know what happened there. That's an ugly game is what that is. Yeah, there you go. As soon as you throw that foot over, you win the game. And that's the whole thing. Now, if we're fighting, and we should say this because we're here, if we're fighting or competing or whatever, the reason why you got to throw that leg over is you haven't won the game yet. All I've got to do is pick this heel, and I'll win the game. So something as small as this can change the whole game for you. That's why everything has to be good, solid, strong position. Now, legs are a 50-50 game. That's why we start where you have one and I have one. And that's why a lot of the martial arts styles have gotten rid of the leg games, because it's a 50-50 gamble. You go to Vegas and gamble, you don't want to hit the 50-50 gamble. You want a 70-30, a 60-40. 50-50 is a bad bet. That means for every leg attempt you throw, you're going to get one put on you. So the whole thing is feet together, knees together, leg position as quickly as possible. Now, the one thing that you can do to help you not only get to position, but also to slow him down a little bit, is grab onto those feet. And when you grab onto the feet, don't just grab and hold, but start getting things inside, feet, knees, whatever you can to get inside and use leverage against while you're controlling his feet will really help you. The way that you get out of this, or what I like to call come back from the end of the game, is even here, where he's throwing his leg over, if I just get something inside, I will stop the position, which will stop the game, which will keep me playing. So if you get a good position and the final ending is to throw this over, throw it over, just this is going to keep me in the game. And it may be another second, maybe another whatever, but just enough to keep going. If I do get caught here and you're still working on settling the position, I could try to open you up and get back to the game, but as soon as that feet together, knees together, it's over. All right? So the name of the game, leg game, way to get there, feet together, knees together, 2-on-1. You got to have a partner. You can't do it by yourself. Don't worry about the holds. The holds aren't important. The movement, the position changes, and the game are what's important. Oh! It's the dog game. Here we go. Dog game is all about being able to maneuver and work while on all fours, and secondly, being able to stay on someone's back while they're on all fours. Now, if you've played the other games, you've seen some of my other training, you know that turning the back is not a problem. Fending off a choke is not a problem. What becomes a problem once your techniques get good is actually staying on the back and continuing to do damage, because it's so easy to get people off. The dog drill keeps you quick and fast in getting people off and also in staying on the back. So let's bring Austin in. Let's check out the dog game. Let me go ahead and be on all fours here. I mean, nice strong dog. Let's turn that a little bit sideways. I'm going to show just some finer mechanics of staying back here and also describe a little bit more on the game itself. So the goal is, if I'm the guy on top, we've got two players, of course. If I'm the guy on top, I want to stay on his back as long as possible with using as little grip or holding as possible. So the example I always use, you can use one, maybe two, but no more than that to stay on the back. He is going to go through his techniques, monkey roll, sit out, stand up, and try to get me off the back without expending any energy, only using his technique. Now, there's a couple ways I can stay on the back that'll help me cling here and remain in this position. First one is a nice knee clamp. So I get behind him and I'll just clamp him with my knees and kind of lay my body on him and conform my body to him. Now, what I'm waiting for is him to move, because when he moves, I'm going to make my counter move to try to stay on his back. So this is the first one, easy, simple riding position. I can modify that slightly by taking my foot, curling the toe up, and just hooking it up under his foot here. That'll give me control of that leg. Then I can modify my ride just a little bit by laying across him. And now I'm holding the foot without really holding it. It's just kind of there. So if he tries to take off or whatever, I'll still have something attached to that, which will give me a little bit of power. So this is the basic mechanics of the game. Good, simple riding position. Good, simple riding position. Once I've got a good top position, he's going to start going through his movements. So the first one is, and the most simplest one, most powerful one, is your sit out. It dumps everything off your back immediately. Austin, show me your sit out. Let's see what you got. That's some serious stuff right there. All right. I'm going to jump on your back. You going to do that? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to let him do his technique. We're going to see where it takes my body. Everybody's watching. This is good. We'll see where it takes me, then we'll look for a counter to it. Where can I move my body to counter that position? That's the beginning of our game. All right? Here we go. Give you a nice ride. All right. Go about your business. All right. That's going to be tough, isn't it? All right, come back. Okay, so the essence of the position is I've got to ride the dog as long as possible. So as soon as he makes a counter movement and starts to change this dynamic, I've got to change my position to remain on top. Now I'm assuming he's going to do the sit out because that's what we just did. But regardless of what he does, I've got to be ready the second he makes a movement to change that angle and try to remain on top. So here's what we're going to try to do. Here's where the game will start. My man's going to try to get out, just throw a couple techniques. I will try to stay on top, and if at most, I will hold with one hand. Ready? Go. All right. Good. So sitting out is usually the easiest way to get out of the game. Second easiest way is some monkey roll or Granby through. Good thing about the Granby or the monkey roll is that it reverses everything. So whatever's behind you goes in front. You got a chance to recover from position. So let's add that one to the technique. And if you want to throw a combo of maybe sit out, monkey roll, or Granby, that'd be pretty tricky. I'll try to stay on your back. Are you down? All right. Dog game. Here we go. See what you got. Oh. Come on. Oh. Ah. Right on. So that is the game. Now, the one thing that will help you stay on the back is to continually change that position. So even before I give him my weight, I'm going to be moving it just a little bit here and there, just a little bit here and there. So that when he throws his technique, it's not just my dead weight hanging on him. I want a little bit of stuff moving around so that he's not exactly sure where I'm going. So when I hang on the back, I'm going to be kind of this guy. Be kind of working this game here. Moving around the body just a little bit. Because as soon as I feel him move, I'm going to try to counter it by changing position and staying on top. Now the theory behind this whole riding of the body and staying on the back is the same theory that we use on the ball. And that is a ball's underneath you and you're the balance point on top. So wherever he rolls, I've got to move my balance point and try to keep it on top of him the whole time. It doesn't matter what he does. It's my job to stay on top of there and try to maintain that balance and those good square hips. Let's see. So there's a couple other ones we can do from here. From the good ride, got my sit out, got my Granby. I can also throw a little sit out and then try something else like a stand up and see if I can't clear that way. Little combo of techniques. Your job would be to continue following me and try to push me back down and maintain that back position. My job at that point when you push me down would probably be to try to get you to come over the top or go this way to try to get you off my back. So that's the whole game. And you got to think about it like a ball and a board, balancing like this. You're the board, he's the ball, and you just try to ride that thing out as much as possible. And I talked about a little foot hook in the back there. Good thing about the foot hook is if he wants to take off or sit out or go anywhere, go and turn this way. If he wants to take off or go anywhere, I'm going to feel it because I got that nice hook in there. A lot of times when you've got a good ride like this, when he goes to make his movement, you can make a nice pick, catch that ankle. Now with only one ankle, not too many techniques he's going to be able to do. If I can effectively chill him just for 1 second, then of course I'm hoping to make a further advance by throwing the hooks in or throwing the hook in here and finishing with something solid like a choke. The pyramid from all fours will work in conjunction with the game. So if I get a good back ride and I'm not sure where to go with it, or if it's nice and high, I can pop it up. That's a nice part of my game here. And once I get the weight up, if I feel like it's going over or if I feel like it's coming back, if it comes back, I might be able to just sit out right off of that and use the energy I took from the pop-up to do my sit-out. There's a lot of variations you can throw to the game. The important thing is don't just let them chill there and ride. Keep popping them off and keep making them work for that position. And then if you know the dog and the dog fighting and fighting from all fours, you can go for all of your holds while you're there and set them up like butter. Feeling good? We got a lot of games. Everybody moving around good? All the positions. I want to work on a game I call the submission game, submission flow game. And it's all about tit for tat. I do a technique, he does a technique, and we sort of exchange techniques in that way. It's about 50% speed. It's about 50% power. It's more of about how efficiently can you change positions and go for a technique, and then vice versa for your partner, how efficiently can he do the same. So it's sort of tit for tat. Now, as you learn your partner's techniques and his abilities, you'll actually be able to help him a little bit by leaning into it, straightening a little more, bending for him, so that you can help him tighten up his technique. And I encourage you to work with your partner, you know, be pliable so that you can both experience the technique. It's more about your brain and body becoming one and completing the technique and then storing it back there as memory than it is about really wrestling and beating each other up. Once you do it a few times, your brain and body see it, then it remembers it and knows it, and it builds your confidence level and lessens the amount of energy it takes to do it. So that's what the whole flow drill is about. It's sort of like, you know, point sparring or a flow wrestling where you're just relaxing, you just change techniques. That's what it's really about. So we're going to sort of attempt that, and hopefully it'll, you know, come out good. So here, let's start here. We're going to lay on your back. Now we're going to take our time because this is the first time we played it, so we'll just take our time in it. Whatever holds, you know, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you've seen or whatever you're confident in, and you want to try it, just go ahead and try it. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. If I can't, I'm just going to lay there and let you do it to me. All right? So we'll start first. I'm going to do a technique. As soon as I'm done, we'll just move me wherever you want me and do your next one. Okay. All right? Now what I recommend when you do start with someone is definitely set a time limit on it because it gets exhausting and it also gets taxing up here. You run out of stuff real quick, especially when you're trying to tit for tat because your brain just kind of clogs up and you sort of forget what's going on. So keep it simple. Keep the time periods short, 30, 60, 90 seconds in the beginning, and then play the game. So here we go. I will do my first hold. So my first one, because you're a wrestler, is going to be this one. What do you got? Oh, okay. I like that. So let that arm go. Yeah. Oh. All right. Throw me something. Throw me something. It's all right. Go wherever you need to go. Uh-huh. I'm down. That's right. Okay. I like it. I like it. Throw your legs over. Remember leg position. That's right. My turn. Hit one. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh. That's right. So go ahead and lay down. We're going to try to pick it up just a little bit. So, you remember the arm bar from the guard?
I think so.
Let's try it. Grab the hand, reach inside, turn your whole body sideways. That's it, reach that one in there. Turn your whole body sideways, throw this leg up. Remember this one? That's right. So there's your arm. So go for it nice and solid. I like that. Here's my counter. You got a counter for that? I like it. How about a leg position? I like it. I like it. This will be my counter, I'm thinking. Go right into here. Let's see. You know anything from the side? How about this one? You know that one? Uh-huh. Nice. Nice. I'll tap on that one. And I would try to go around, and take that. Grid this way. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. See, that's all it is. The game is really that simple. And as your confidence and knowledge of submissions grow, it's just like boxing. The more punches you're going to be able to throw, the more positions that you'll know, and the more movement that you'll be able to do from position to position, more confidence and energy that you'll be able to gather when you go. The ideal situation is for you to throw a technique, then for me to immediately throw a counter technique. So whatever your technique is, I want to be thinking, what's the immediate counter technique? And the shortest, quickest movement, the shortest path on a straight line, how can I get there quickly and do my next technique as fast as possible? And that's what you want to build your game up to, so that you're just going bam, 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 bam. Takes a little bit of time. At the beginning, it looks kind of funny like we did. We just sort of lumber around and go for holds and try stuff and experiment with each other's bodies. Once you do this 3 or 4 times, you'll get a little rhythm of what he knows and what I know, how his body works and where the movement goes. Then you'll be able to start picking the game up and playing it just like, here's one, here's one. And it always reminds me of playing uncle with your big brother. He gets the arm, then you get the reversal, then he gets the arm again. The game is very similar to that. Be kind to your partner. You want him to help you. You want him to move for you, to encourage you, to help mold your body to get there. So if you're yanking on him or hurting or whatever, he's not going to do that for you. So be kind to him. It's a partner drill game, so you got to have a good partner. Be kind to him. Be kind to yourself. Make sure you play the submission game. You want to get real flow, real movement, and real confidence in throwing submissions really quick like that. The submission game is the way to go. Well, that's it for our games. Austin, thank you very much. You've been a godsend. About the games, play the games. Leg game, turtle game, choke game. Play all of your games and take your time. Start slow. Find somebody who's your own skill level and play the game with them. You guys will advance really quickly together. Add those games to your grappling, add submissions to those games, and you will be a complete fighter.